गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः Sanjaya Uvacha. We are on the 24th verse of the Dnyaneshwari or Bhagavad Gita. Sanjaya Uvacha Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Rishikesho Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam Sthapayitva Rathottamam. Together. Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. So, why did Bhagavad Gita begin? I'm asking. Why did Bhagavad Gita begin?
Because of Arjuna's expertise.
Did it begin because Krishna wanted to give us the Bhagavad Gita? That's one reason. But what was the trigger that Bhagavad Gita has come to us? It was going to happen anyway. But if Dhritarashtra had not asked the question, Sanjay would not have told. If Sanjay had not told, we wouldn't have it. How Krishna Bhagwan gave it to Arjuna, was it exactly verse by verse like this? Or it's all left? But if we see that Sanjay was able to see everything chronologically, then it is exactly how it went away. So how can suddenly at that inflammable moment when the conches have been blown, at that time 3 hours of Bhagavad Gita is being chanted. Question answers is going on 3 hours. It takes over 3 hours to chant the whole Bhagavad Gita. So then again, it's the Leela of the Lord. He stops the time and makes this dialogue happen. So here, when we reach this point, Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. Please place my chariot in the middle of the two armies. I want to see who, O Krishna. This is the third picture that is being presented to us. What was the first picture? Think now, you know the story. What was the first picture? First picture was Dhritarashtra asking Sanjay what happened. It was a question, it was not an order, it was a question. What happened on the battlefield that our Bhishmacharya has fallen to the ground because for 10 days he has not asked the question. Because Bhishmacharya was the commander-in-chief and they were winning. And now suddenly on the 10th day, Bhishmacharya has fallen, the blind king. He suddenly, when the news comes from the soldiers that he's lying on the ground, on the bed of arrows, then he calls Sanjay. Sanjay, what happened, man? Then Sanjay is telling. That's the first picture. Dhritarashtra calling Sanjay to inquire, well, what happened? Why this has happened? How come this has happened? It's out of concern. Then what was the second picture now? See the chronology. What was the second picture?
Arjuna losing the plot.
No, we haven't reached there yet. इतना कुछ सुन लिया अभी तो बताओ तो तुम लोग भी जो Zoom पे हो.
Sanjay was describing about the Kaurav side first.
Yes. The second picture is who are the क्या कहते हैं, the yodhas, the warriors on both sides, and that concluded in the blowing of the conch by Bhishmacharya to shut up Duryodhana, and then blowing of the conch by Krishna, followed by the Panchapandavas. Correct? Again, you see here in this second picture, when you start thinking, I've taken it so many times, so different angles of approach. Duryodhana did not follow the Lord. He was blabbering away. Arjuna has not spoken anything. Compared to Arjuna, Duryodhana is only blabbering. Look at that army, look at this army, look at Bhima, look at our Bhishma, please protect Bhishmacharya, etc. etc. Goes on and on and on and on and on, out of fear, out of overwhelming feeling. And eventually the Bhishmacharya blows. But Bhishmacharya also knows that the most divine person in this whole armies standing opposite each other, the most divine person is Krishna. So they should have waited. So the Kaurava army do not follow the Lord's call. Arjun, he could have taken up the conch and straight away started, but he didn't. He waited. Yudhishthir waited, Bhim waited, all the Pandava army waited. For whom? For Krishna to declare the war in response. This is in response. Yesterday I told you, last week I told you, they are the attackers. But here they have become the defenders now because the Kaurava army has blown the conch first. These were all the rules of those times. For so many years we are seeing the narrative was Russia has attacked Ukraine. Now the narrative has changed. That Ukraine instigated it by wanting to join NATO. He is the culprit, not Russia. And wait, another 1 month everyone will believe that. Before that was the narrative everyone was believing, now this is the narrative everyone will believe. This is how life is. So question is, in our life, whom do we follow in life? Do we follow the Lord's call or do we follow our own ego call? Yes, we want to follow. So prepare yourself in such a way that whether you know it or you don't know it, Lord alone is functioning through us. Correct? Atma alone is functioning through us. But do we know it? Why? Because our attention is not on the Lord, because our attention is on the world with too many stimuli, ideas, imagination, expectations, security, fears, aspirations, ambitions, it clutters the mind. And when the mind gets cluttered, we are unable to see the presence of the Lord. Just like the sun reflecting in the waters, you can see the sun. But if there are too many waves on the water, you cannot see the reflection of the sun. You will see only sparkles. Why? Because too many waves. So is the reflection of the sun not there? It is there, but it is covered by many waves. Similarly, in our mind, when too many thoughts, what I just narrated, aspirations, ambitions, fears, etc., all these thoughts of the world are coming and cluttering, and there's so many waves of thoughts are there. So that pratibimb, that reflection, the reflection of the Lord in this mind is hidden behind the thought waves, and therefore we are not able to hear the calling of the Lord. Those who have done that, those who are calmed their mind, they are able to see the presence of the Lord. Then such people live an intuitive life. They don't live a, what is the word? Calibrated. Is that the word? Calibrated life. They live an intuitive life. See, when we are away from the Lord, then we are always catching the end. What to do next? What to do next? What to do next? What to do next? इसी में stress आ जाता है. See, but when the Lord is speaking, you know that the Lord is there inside. Then what will you be doing? Yesterday I told you, ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Then exclusively all the time your attention is on that divine principle, atmic principle, God principle, whatever you may call it. And when your attention is on that, then whenever, whatever is required to be done, it will come to you automatically. That thought will come to you automatically. Trust is required. Faith is required that Lord will speak to me at the right time. If He is not speaking, then it was not required. Then don't blame Him.
Even right people comes into context.
Even right people, right situations, money, no money, hunger, no hunger, everything in ourselves is happening by His will. Hunger comes by itself. You don't create hunger. Sleep comes by itself. You don't create sleep. Waking happens by itself. Okay, you get up artificially by putting alarm. But if you don't put alarm and go to sleep on time, you will get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock like that. See? So learn to be in tune with the divine rather than suspect His presence and try to take control of your life, and that is Duryodhana. Pancha Pandavas, and among Pancha Pandavas, Arjuna is totally, at this moment, they know we have Krishna on our side, so completely dedicated. So they follow the diktat of the Lord Krishna, unlike Duryodhana. So this is the second picture. Now the third picture. That is over. Now the third picture. Before one verse came where that Krishna and Arjuna are on the chariot. We explained the chariot and everything. Now Sanjay is saying, Eva mukto hrishikesho gudakeshena bharata sena yor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapayitva ratham sthapayitva rathottamam. So he says, Sanjay continues to narrate the happenings on the battlefield, and Krishna, who was addressed by Arjuna, he said, O Bharata, O Krishna, place the best of the chariots between the two armies. It was the best chariot among all the chariots in the in both the armies. Right? Lord himself is sitting there. There was no other chariot which was yoked by 4 horses and such huge, with a whole array of weapons, astra and shastra, and looking beautiful. It has to. Why? Hanumanji is on the top. Remember we saw Kapidwaja? Another name for Arjuna is Kapidwaja, the one who is having the flag with Hanumanji on the chariot. Therefore, Kapidwaja. So here, 174. Another way to look at here, while we are here, let's look at another way. Dhritarashtra represents tamasic attachment. He is attached to throne. He doesn't care whether Duryodhan comes back or Yudhishthir comes back. He knows if Yudhishthir comes back after winning, he will say, you are father Tulya to me, so you continue ruling the kingdom. He knows this perfectly well. Yes, he has attachment for Duryodhan, no doubt about that. But he knows the other side also, that he is going to continue to be the king. The one who is attached to throne, it represents, it is my throne. Nobody can take it from me. Tamasic mamata. What is mamata? Last week we were talking about many times this word samata is coming in the Bhagavad Gita, meaning standing in the middle. Equanimity. Mamata means not standing in the middle, even though naturally nobody can take you away from the middle, but you lose the plot and you think you are attached to something. So you can be attached to only 3 things: something tamasic, something rajasic, and something sattvic. Dhritarashtra represents tamasic attachment to material, to to matter. Throne is a matter. So on one hand he is blind, he is seeing darkness, there is no light in front of his eyes, and that is represented in his demeanor also. He is attached to the throne. Duryodhana, his attachment is that of rajasic kind. Rajasic means this is all mine and what is yours is also mine. Continuous comparison, competition, jealousy, envy. That is Duryodhana. Completely ego trip. That is tamasic ego trip. Here it is rajasic ego trip. And now the sattvic mamata will tell you when it comes. Arjuna represents sattvic mamata, but we'll see. So here he says, Aika Arjuna ituke bolila tava krishne rathupe lila dohi sainyama zikela ubhatene. He says, listen, O king, when Arjuna spoke thus, Lord Krishna placed the chariot between the 2 armies where stood Bhishma, Drona, kinsmen and other kings. So here he says in the verse, you can repeat after me, Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuru Niti Tatra Pashyat Sthitan Parthaha Pitrunatha Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratrun Putran pautran sakhins tatha Shvashuran sahrudaschaiva Senayorubhayorapi Tan samikshasa kaunteya Sarvan bandhunavasthitan. You can chant together. Chanting Bhagavad Gita is very auspicious if you are getting the chance. Together. Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti Tatra Pashyat Stitan Partha Pitrunatha Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratrun Putran Pautran Sakins Tatha Shvashuran Sarudaschaiva Senayorubhayorapi Tan Samikshasa Kaunteya Sarvan Bandhunavasthitan. So here he says, so what was that? Bhishma Drona. So mainly when Krishna was ordered by Arjuna, why did he order? Last week I was explaining to you that part also. But when you become overconfident, over successful, when you have in your data bank that I have never got defeated, till now he was okay. Till the conches were being blown, he was okay. But first arrow is going to be shot. Everything is everyone is on their edge. It's the inflammable moment, as I said before. Everything is going to go haywire. The war is going to blast off. At that time, suddenly ego takes over Arjuna. Till now he was listening to Krishna. Suddenly the ego comes up. Somewhere in his samskaras, we don't know. Or he only knows. And what is it? And as a result of that, he orders Krishna to take the chariot between the two armies. Okay. Mistake made, okay. But what is the response of Krishna? Krishna's response is, Arjuna, Duryodhana has not said that. Only Arjuna has said to Krishna, what a karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prichhami tam dharma sammudha chetaha nishreyasyaat nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhi mam tvam prapanna. I am your disciple, I am your devotee, please guide me to the highest good. If someone has surrendered to you who is declaring that he is your devotee, isn't it the responsibility of the teacher or the Lord to guide the person in the right manner? He could have easily taken him in front of Duryodhana. Last time we talked about it. He would have got inflamed even further. But he wanted to bring down the ego of Arjuna. He wanted to bring down the ego. So what is the solution there? Meeting will end in 10 minutes. I don't know what is it. He says, he took the chariot in front of Drona and he said, O Parth, behold these Kurus assembled here. And whom does he begin with? He said, and who did Arjuna see? He just said, look at this. So you will only see who is in front of you. You will not look out there or look out there. When Duryodhana and Arjuna went to ask for help to Krishna, when Krishna was sleeping, Duryodhana was sitting behind the head and Arjuna was sitting at its feet. So when Krishna opened his eyes, first he saw Arjuna. Therefore he asked, this fellow said, I came first. Duryodhana said, I came first. The same way here, Krishna takes the chariot And it's not that all the chariots are right next to each other like we keep our bins. Distance apart. So he takes it in front of Bhishmacharya, the most revered one, and he says, these have come to fight with you. And what did Arjuna see? Here he says, Arjuna standing there, uncles, granduncles, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, companions, and also father-in-laws and friends in both armies. When Arjuna saw all these kinsmen standing there, then what happens, we'll tell you. So, on the battlefield, whom should you see? Enemy. Who is he seeing? Relatives. Plot lost. Plot lost. Do we make that mistake going around in our life? Whom should you see? The Lord. Your attention should be on the Lord. Right now, who are you seeing? Teacher. Bhagavad Gita. Thought of Dnyaneshwari Maharaj. And Krishna, who is expressing as all this. This is where our attention should be. But what do we think about? Everything else. I'm not saying about you in general. We get distracted. Suddenly, while listening, as I'm going through this list of standing there, uncles, granduncles, suddenly in your mind, your name of uncles will come, your name of granduncles will come, your name of teacher and maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons come. If I say the word deliberately, the word will trigger those persons, their pictures and their names in your mind. Why? Immediately, because that is how we have practiced ourselves. We have not practiced becoming focused on the Lord. See, we have more faith in our own children, in our relatives, than in the Lord Himself. When does this happen? When we are living at the ego level. And that ego, at the sattvic ego, here it is sattvic ego. When does it express? When he is feeling invincible. So if we are feeling invincible in our life, immediately hand it over to God. Become empty. Don't hold on to it. Yes, I did it. By mistake also don't do that. Wrong impressions in your mind. Then as much as with what intensity and emotion you did this, that same intensity and emotion can take you down also. Because in the mind, positive, negative go hand in hand. You don't know when it will happen. But if you remain in the center, whether positive comes or negative comes, who cares? Yeah, continuing with the भावार्थ जेथ भीष्मा द्रोणादिका दिक जवळिकेची सन्मुख पृथ्वीपती आणिक बहुत आहाती तेथ स्थिर करुनि रथू अर्जुन असे पाहतू तो दळभार समस्तू संभ्रमेसी मग देवा म्हणे देख देख हे गोत्र गुरु अशेख तव कृष्णामनी नावेक विस्मो जाहला तो आपणया आपण म्हणे येथ काही कवण जाणे हे मनी धरिले येणे परी काही आश्चर्य असे ऐसी पुढील से घेतू तो सहजे जाणे हृदयस्थू परी उगा असे निवातू तिये वेळी तव तेथ पार्थू सकळ पितृपितामह केवळ गुरुबंधु मातुळ देखता जाहला इष्टमित्र आपुले कुमरजन देखिले हे सकळ असती आले तया माझी सुहृज्जन सरे आणि कही सखे सोयी रे कुमर पौत्र धनुर्धरे देखिले तेथ जया उपकार होते केले का आपदी जे राखिले हे असो वडील धाकुले आदी करुणी ऐसे गोत्रची दोही दळी उदित झाले असे कळी हे अर्जुने तिये वेळी अवलोकिले. He says, listen, O king, when Arjuna spoke this, Lord Krishna placed the chariot between the two armies where stood Bhishma, Drona, kinsmen and other kings. Then when the chariot came to a halt, Arjuna saw the Kaurava army and was greatly agitated. You should be inspired. Why you are agitated? Because out of the whole Kaurava army, 11 million, all he could see was, this is the list. If he had changed his angle, he would have got inspired, he would have got angry. But no, you need anger when you are fighting a war. Without anger, but it should be invoked anger. Then he said, Lord, these are our teachers, relations, elders, which astounded Lord Krishna for a moment. Arre, you asked me whom to see, but Lord is a full dramatist. अच्छा, अरे मेरे को तो पता ही नहीं कि सामने गुरु महाराज हैं और दादाजी हैं और भाई बहन हैं, भाई हैं, मुझे नहीं पता. अच्छा, relations and elders. And Lord Krishna became astounded for a moment. Then he said to himself, does anyone know what Arjuna has in mind? But it is something strange. Being the inner controller of all beings, he certainly knew what was in his mind, but he kept quiet at that time. So, see, Dnyaneshwari Maharaj is straight away bringing our attention to the Lord, who is the core of our being, every being. In 11th chapter we will see when the Vaishwana Vishwarup Darshan is shown. He says, Arjuna, whether you fight or you don't fight, it does not matter. I have already killed them. They are me only. I am playing with myself. Can you see what Bhagwan is saying there in 11th chapter? That this whole creation has emanated from me, is existing in me and going back to me at destruction. Can you see that happening in your life? Can you see? The whole dream creation, where does it come out from? From your mind. Where does it exist in your mind? Where does it go back? To your mind. So also is true about waking. The whole waking creation with all the people that you know or you don't know, the entire creation has come out of your mind, is existing in your mind. It will go back to your mind. And where has mind come from? It's come from the source, from the Lord. The Lord and His Maya. When we take the position of the witness, then the body, breath and mind, or gross body, subtle body and causal body. All these three bodies. Where are these three bodies? In the mind. When this fellow attaches to it, right now it's Arjuna. Whether you attach, if you attach to the body, then you are tamasic attachment. You are attaching to the mind, you are attaching to the subtle body, the rajasic. And if you come to the intellect, causal body, then you are attaching, or to the waking state, then you are attaching to the sattvic. It's a sattvic attachment. If we meant samatvam yoga uchyate, we separate ourselves, we don't allow ourselves to be attached to these three, then these three will continue for some time, as long as the momentum is there. But you are watching. Without this fellow, these cannot function. And who is this fellow? Essentially the Paramatma. That is this Jnana Mudra. So Bhagavan is, Dnyaneshwar Maharaj is telling that Sri Krishna is the core of all beings and he knows. But he is doing the drama, acha, astonishment. But he knows. And because he knows, when you know and someone is blabbering, what will you do? Smile and keep quiet. Let him empty his frustration out. See? There. Zoom meeting has ended. Okay. Sorry, I have to restart. Yeah, it's come back. It will happen once more. So being the inner controller of all beings, because just like water is the inner controller of all the waves and oceans. See, gold is the inner controller of all the ornaments. Similarly, Lord is the inner controller of all the beings. But he kept quiet at that moment, at that time. Arjuna saw there his uncles, granduncles, teachers, cousins, etc. He saw gathered there his relations, friends, sons and others, his well-wishers, father-in-law, kinsmen, companion and grandsons. He saw there all those whom he had helped and protected in adverse times. In short, he saw all his kinsmen, old and young, come there to fight. When you see, one moment, let me put the audio off for everyone. So when he saw, he got deluded. He got deluded. And how did that delusion express itself? Kripaya paraya vishto vishidantam abravit. You can repeat. Kripaya paraya vishto vishidantam abravit. Here he says that, and overcome with great compassion, because he has helped, he has defeated the Kaurava armies before, he has protected Duryodhana before, he has protected the kingdom before, he has defeated Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya in the Virat Yudh before. And because he knows that he has never lost, a battle before, he has ever been victorious. When you are overconfident of your success, this is what happens. You don't go down step by step. When you are overconfident of your success, when you reach 99 in the snake and ladder, where do you go? Straight out of the game. This is what exactly happens to Arjuna now. And it's not happening at a physical level. It's not happening at the war level. It is happening in the mind. It's happening in the mind. So, here the commentary by Dnyaneshwar Maharaj to this verse. So here he says, and overcome with great compassion, He spoke suddenly, that enthusiasm, that inspiration. Take the chariot in the middle of the two armies, I want to see. Suddenly, everything push. He's losing the plot. We'll give you the reasons why he's losing the plot. We also lose the plot in life when we become overconfident, when we become arrogant of our own success. So what happens here? ते थमनी गजबज जाहली आणि आपैसी कृपा आली तेणे अपमाने निघाली वीरवृत्ती जिया उत्तम कुळीचिया होती आणि गुणलावण्य आथी तिया आणि की ते न साहती सुते जपणे नविये आवडीचे निभरे कामुक जीव निजवनिता विसरे मघ पांडे विण अनुसरे भ्रमला जैसा. की तपोबळे रिद्धी पातलिया भ्रंशे बुद्धी मग तया विरक्तता सिद्धी आठवेना तैसे अर्जुना तेथ जाहले असते पुरुषत्व गेले ते अंतःकरण दिधले कारुण्यासी देखा मंत्रज्ञू बरळू जाये मग तेथ का जैसा संचारू होय तैसा तो धनुर्धर महामोहे आकळिला म्हणवनी असता धीरू गेला हृदया द्रावो आला जैसा चंद्रकळी सिंपिला सोमकांतू तया परी पार्थू अतिस्नेहे मोहितू मग सखेद असे बोलतू अच्युतेसी. At that time, his mind was troubled and pity filled his heart. Here the words used is आणि आपैसी कृपा आली. आपैसी कृपा आली. अपने ऊपर he is feeling कृपा. And तेने all the insults that he has faced in his life, he forgot them. निघाली. अपमाने निघाली. And then Veeravritti and that valor and the Kshatriya bhav, that also left. In the end, it's a thought, na? The bravery is a thought, courage is a thought, valor is a thought. You have to invoke it. Anger is a thought. So here what is coming? Compassion. I have to kill all these. Oh, I don't want to be that one. I don't want to be that one. Why this type of thought is coming to him? We will see now. At that time his mind was troubled and pity filled his. Why? Self-importance, arrogance, remember? He came there with arrogance. That's how he ordered Krishna to take the chariot. And Krishna's job is to make him fight the war in what disposition? Samatvam yoga uchyate. If he fights war with arrogance, he is going to make a mistake somewhere. That is the job. So we are also fighting war all the time. Good thoughts, good situations, bad situations. Good desires, bad desires. Something is always happening. How do you deal with them? If it is left to the Lord, He will say, remain a sakshi. Remain equanimous. Don't take the side of the good desires. Don't take the side of the bad desires. Don't try to fulfill good desires and don't try to avoid bad desires. Meaning thoughts. Then what do? Stand in the middle and let everything unfold as the Lord wants. That's the smart way. Then what will happen? Then you will become empty. You are always empty. Your human birth is only to undo all the impressions of past lives that have resulted in this life. That is the purpose of this human birth. Not to create brother, uncle, auntie, grand uncles and brothers and teachers, and that is not our purpose. Our purpose is to become empty of all the samskaras while living. Where the mind becomes free of all samskaras, where all samskaras are gone, all mamta is also gone. Where samskaras, when you remain here, the samskaras which are in the mind, whatever is in the mind, that only it will vomit. And that vomit is the experience of life that you are getting. So rather than associate with life and say this is good, raga, dvesha, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesh, no identification, remain a sakshi. Then as first the superficial samskaras come and exhaust themselves. Then some deeper samskaras will come and exhaust themselves. Then the subconscious samskaras will come and exhaust themselves. And within this lifetime, it is possible. It depends upon your commitment to the divine, that all samskaras are cleared within one lifetime. It takes, Bhagavan says, if you surrender to me completely or you contemplate on the Atma completely, without any doubt, full faith, and live like that, instantly it is cleared. Instantly, achirat. But they say it takes lifetime to clear, then follow them. Don't come to Bhagavad Gita class. We are telling you what Lord says, what Upanishads say, what the scriptures say. Achirat. So it is very difficult, it is not easy, it takes lifetimes. Yogis are sitting for so many lifetimes, and I have already done so many mistakes in my life. You think compared to those yogis I am anything better? I am even worse than those yogis. All your choice of thinking. Good luck. You will get whatever you're thinking, whatever your conclusions of life, that alone will be reflected in your life. But if you believe what we just told, that this life, this human birth is we have been given the opportunity to empty ourselves and realize that we are essentially divine, not individual. There is nothing called individuality. It's stupidity. Just because you see a rainbow, is there a rainbow? Just because you see blueness of the sky, is the sky blue? This is stupidity. Use it and forget it. Enjoy, beautiful. You don't carry a memory of that rainbow. You don't carry the memory of the blueness of the sky. You know it is like that only. Sometimes it is dark, sometimes it is blue, sometimes it is other colors. So similarly, play the roles, but don't get caught up in any roles. Our only relationship is with the divine. And that relationship is also not my relationship. The Lord has given me this thought that my relationship is only to know the divinity. No ownership of anything. His heroic spirit, Veera Vritti, his heroic spirit taking offense at his conduct, deserted him. At that very moment, suddenly, the balloon is deflated. Even as a lady coming from a noble family and endowed with beauty and virtue does not tolerate a rival in her affection, or as a passionate person neglects his wife, being infatuated by another woman, this is the second example, and like one demented runs undeservedly after her, or as an ascetic dazzled by the acquisition of miraculous powers, does not remember his dispassion. 3 examples are given. One of ascetic, one of a grahastha, and one of the lady. All are told about how we get deluded. One moment Arjun was fine, next moment he lost the plot. One moment suddenly, where was this? Some days ago, not some days, 2-3 years ago, after COVID, mom got a very big bill of tax return. अभी तो कभी इतना पे नहीं किया यार tax return. She started shaking. क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, कैसे होगा, क्या? तो मैं कहा अभी क्या करेंगे, देना है तो देना है. But till then, okay, let's talk to the accountant again. And by the time, while we were talking to the accountant, again that ATO sent her email within a week that we calculated it wrong, we didn't appropriate it, and suddenly it became less than 1/3. Now it is okay. Someone passes away whom we have known for such a long time. Do we lose the plot of life? Hi, mera kya hoga? How will I live? They're not thinking about the person who has passed away. They're thinking about themselves. What will happen to them? This fellow never told me even the bank account where he kept the money. He didn't give me the keys where he keeps all the gold in the locker. I don't know where he has kept the papers of the house. मेरा क्या होगा, मेरा क्या होगा? Attention, where did the attention go? To myself. Arjuna's attention has gone to himself. He lost the plot because of the situation that he was placed. We are also facing situations our entire life. How do we interact with that situation is an art that Bhagavad Gita teaches us. First it will be shown. So this is, what is this chapter called? Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama. So from here the Vishad begins. Veera Vritti has left. The heroic spirit has left him. What are the symptoms that we'll see next now? And in order to revive the heroic spirit back into him, not out of arrogance, right now it was arrogance, but out of proper understanding, the rest of the Bhagavad Gita is. Here he says, such was the state of Arjuna when he lost his manliness and yielded his heart to compassion. In our scriptures, as compared to Buddhism, compassion, our scriptures don't say compassion. Have empathy. Don't have compassion. Compassion always predetermines you are better than the other one. Therefore you have to, I am showing compassion, poor fellow. I am showing compassion. See these beggars, we have to do some, थोड़ी दया दिखानी चाहिए. खाना दे दो, पैसे दे दो, कपड़े दे दो. दया is compassion. We don't want to show compassion. Compassion takes you in the wrong direction. This is where Arjuna has been taken now. And why? Because he already feels that we are the righteous. He already has come to a conclusion. Krishna is on our side, that means we are the good ones, they are the bad ones. He has already come to the conclusion, we are sattvic, they are rajasic or tamasic. And when you have that type of attitude, then how does it express? Holier than thou attitude. And the one who, this is arrogance. Sattvic arrogance expresses as holier than thou attitude. I know everything. Don't teach me. I know all the scriptures. Don't teach me. I have given lectures on Bhagavad Gita so many times. Don't teach me what Bhagavad Gita tells me. Arey bhaiya, Bhagavad Gita teaches you, be a student of life. Wherever knowledge comes from, you take it. Or keep quiet. But holier than thou attitude. Such was the state of Arjuna that he lost his manliness and yielded his heart to compassion. Look, even as the exorcist who makes a slip is overpowered by the ghost, that great archer was overcome by delusion. Avishta. Bhoot chad jata hai na? This is that bhoot. He has been taken over by delusion. Remember? What is the ladder of fall? You think of an object, dhyayato vishayan pumsan, sangasteshu pajayate. That will come in the second chapter. So when, I'm not going to go, when it comes, I'll explain in a while. So whenever we look, in short, whenever we see something with interest, it creates an impression in our mind. We get attached to it. That attachment, because we are given value to it. This is good or this is not good. If it is good, then I desire it. If it is not good, I want to stay away from it. If I desire it, then I get very typical in nowadays in stock market. I put the money, I get the money. I put the money, I get the money. Suddenly 15,000 down. Bomb maro. When this will turn around, when this gone. Everyone is crying. See? So when we become greedy about whatever in life, then greed can never be satisfied. It will lead to anger. Anger leads to loss of memory. When we are angry, we forget, last time I broke the TV. Last time I got angry, I banged the door and I had to suffer with a broken toe for one whole year till it got fixed. In anger we forget. Loss of memory leads to delusion. And when your mind is deluded, or anger leads to delusion, is it that way or the other way? Anger leads to delusion, delusion leads to loss of memory leads to not knowing what is right and wrong, and when you don't know what is right and wrong in life, that is the fall of man. This is the ladder of fall. See? So here Arjuna was overcome. Avesha, the ghost of delusion has taken him, overpowered him. Just like sometimes when we are sitting and the sleep overpowers us, isn't it? Especially in lectures. And it's pulling you from inside. You want to listen, but it's pulling you from inside. Avesha. Some anger takes you over. Avesha. So here, delusion has taken him over, has overpowered him. So he lost his natural courage and his heart bled with pity, even as the moonstone melts at the touch of moonlight. In this way, Arjuna became bewildered by his excessive affection and addressed Lord Krishna thus in great dejection. Affection towards whom? Affection towards grandfather. I have to kill my grandfather. Towards Dronacharya, his teacher, I have to kill my teacher. My brothers. So Arjuna became deluded. Drishtvenam swajanam Krishna, Drishtvenam swajanam Krishna, Yuyutsum samupastitam, Yuyutsum samupastitam, Sidanti mama gatrani, Sidanti mama gatrani, Mukham cha parishushyati, Mukham cha parishushyati, Vepatushcha sharire me, Vepatushcha sharire me, Romaharshascha jayate, Romaharshascha jayate, Gandivam sransate hastat, Gandivam samsate hastat, Tvakchaiva paridahyate, Tvakchaiva paridahyate, न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं, न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं, भ्रमतीव च मे मनः, भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. Together. Drishtvenam swajanam Krishna, Yuyutsum samupasthitam, Sidanti mama gatrani, Mukham cha parishushyati, Vepatushcha sharire me, Romaharshascha jayate, Gandivam sransate hasta, Tvakchaiva paridahyate, na cha shaknomyavasthatum, Brahmativa cha me manaha. So, put these into your mind. These are the symptoms of a deluded mind. When the courage, when the vitality, when the conviction in any given situation, any situation, because life is continuously presenting you situations. You have to determine who you are at that very moment. If you sit here instead of a student, you sit here as a husband or a wife or a grandfather or a grandmother, you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. But if you are sitting here as a student, and as a student you know what are the qualities of a student, and with all those qualities, sit with awareness, alertly, vigilantly, listening to every word and making it your own. But any deviation from that, you are here physically, but you are not here. And eventually, sleep will come. Slowly, slowly, that will start becoming stronger and stronger, that disinterest. So here he says, seeing this, Arjuna is saying, seeing these kinsmen here, O Krishna, bent on fighting, my limbs become feeble, my mouth goes dry, there is tremor in my body, and my hair stands on end. Whenever we are in front of something that we are afraid of, all these symptoms will come if there is fire all around you. If a huge earthquake comes in Melbourne right now, same symptoms will happen. If you are just before the accident, you know it's going, same symptoms will come about. Before interview, same symptoms will come. The moment you get a call that the government is sending an inspection agency to your factory, alert! But if you're confident, then there's nothing wrong. See? When we go to, if we have done something wrong and we got something in our bag and we have not, we are trying to trick the custom agent, custom fellow, and you have said everything no, and you know there is yes in the bag. That fellow can immediately catch if you are not, in the center. That feeling is there. So, the Gandiva bow, continuing, the Gandiva bow has slipped from my hand, my skin burns all over, I am not able to stand firm, and my mind seems to reel. This is the ultimate. The mind is totally gone for a sixer. Because he does not know what is right and wrong. It's not able to come to any decision, conclusion. It's lost the plot. And the moment these symptoms, he says, Krishna is smiling. Why? Arrogance has dissolved. I will bring him back up, but his arrogance has gone away. Important is arrogance has to go. See, the Dnyaneshwari Maharaj says in the Bhashya, तो मणे अवधारी देवा म्या पाहिला हा मेळावा तव गोत्रवर्गू आघवा देखिला एथ हे संग्रामी अति उद्यत जाहाले असती कीर समस्त पण आपण पेया उचित केवी होय येणे नावेची नेणुकाई मज आपण पे सर्वथा नाही मन बुद्धी ठाई स्थिर नोहे देखे देह कांपत तोड असे कोरडे होत विकळता उपजत गात्रासी सर्वांगा कांटाळा आला अतिसंताप उपनला तेथ बेबळे व्हातू गेला गांडीवाचा ते न धरताची निष्ठले परिनेणेची व्हातोनी पडिले ऐसे हृदय असे व्यापिले मोहे येणे जे वज्रापासोनी कठीण दुर्धर अतिदारुण तयाहून असाधारण हे स्नेह नवल जेणे संग्रामी हरुजिंतिला निवात कवचांचा ठावो फेडिला तो अर्जुन मोहे कवळिला क्षणा माझी विल रीड अप टिल हियर क्षणा माझी 12-200 तक he says, Lord, when I look at this crowd, I see only my kinsmen, I don't see enemy, I only see all my relatives. True, they are all poised for battle, but will it be proper for us to fight with them? This is holier than thou attitude. I am a goody-goody. I am a goody-goody. All these have come to fight. They have come for kingdom. They want all our wealth. They want everything. We don't want anything. We are good people. We are sattvic people. See, we only wanted 5 villages. We were ready to give up everything. We are good ones. See? We give $2 donation and we feel we are a great charitable person. होता है ना कभी कभी अहंकार, $2 का भी अहंकार आता है कि आई हैव गिवन डोनेशन. So here they are all poised for battle, as if you have not come for battle. You also came to the battlefield for battle only. How come you are saying that they have come for battle, but he is losing the plot? But will it be proper for us to fight with them? Because we are good people. These now the arguments that he will give afterwards, we'll see when that comes. Before that, the thought bewilders me and has unhinged my mind. I have lost unhinging the mind is losing the plot. I don't know what is right and wrong anymore. See, my body is trembling. So first at the gross level, then at the mental level, then the intellectual. But why is it happening? First, Where do you know the right and wrong? At the body or the mind level or breath level? At the intellectual level, you know what is right and wrong. It is the intellect which gets deluded. It's not the body which gets deluded. It's not the mind which gets. It's the intellect which gets deluded, and thus it loses the capability to know what is right and wrong. And now the symptoms at the body level: my body is trembling. Then next, my mouth is parched. All the saliva is gone. Mouth is dry. When you are in fear, when you are not able to, all the courage and the veer vritti, the heroic spirit is gone to face life. To face life. That's when this happens. Trembling and parched mouth, and languor has overtaken my limbs. Has it ever happened to us that we want to run and our legs are not ready to run? We want to walk, but we are not ready to walk. When we are doing sadhana, these things happen. But because our attention was on the wrong side, our attention was not on the Lord, our attention was on the body. And as the sadhana was going on, point come where I couldn't even pick up the cup. That was too heavy. To get out of the bed and stand up on my feet was a big task. Tamas has taken over. When we are thinking of the body and trying to perfect the body can never become perfect. Anything that is a part of creation, and what is the nature of what is a part of creation?
Modifies, changes.
It modifies, it changes. Anything that is it is born, it grows, there is disease, there is decay, and there is death. This is the journey of anything that comes into this creation. Let it be earth, let it be sun, let it be moon, let it be human beings, let it be father, mother, let it be this laptop. Birth, growth, disease, decay, death. It is happening. So here he says that and when we think of the body and we are trying to keep it fit and we are trying to keep it be on top of it, one must maintain health, no doubt about it. But as body, if we want to become that body should not deteriorate at all, it is not possible. This is when one person who thinks of the body and quietens the mind and goes into samadhi, it is called Jada Samadhi. Jada Samadhi because the body disidentification has not happened. So just like every night we go to sleep, actually we are in samadhi. Actually we are in samadhi. Our consciousness has gone back to the infinite consciousness. But we are deluded by ignorance. Ignorance is covering our mind and intellect. Therefore, we don't know that we are one with the truth. Technically, no thought in the mind, the reflection, if no wave on the water, reflection of the sun should show itself, isn't it? But now, there is no thought in the mind, we should see the self-reflection, but we are not. We see only the darkness. I do not, where are we? The hair on my body bristles, my mind is agitated, so all the hair are standing on end. If someone tells you when you go, even today, we have got girls staying, and when they go to the back unit, they have to walk half the driveway, then the automatic light comes on. But till reach that half the distance on the driveway, looking back, front, here, there, and for a moment, if on the wall or somewhere, some bird screeches, or we have an owl in the reserve next door. If he wow at night after watching some movie or that they are going back, he's really hair standing on end, and the mind is agitated. What is that? What is this? And the Gandhi, as a result, your ability to act in life, to face life, is gone. So Gandiva here represents the ability to act in life. Gandiva is the instrument of action for Arjuna. For Bhima it is Gada. For Arjuna it is the Gandiva bow. He has never kept it on the ground. If anyone keeps it on the ground, he has taken a vow, I'll kill him. Now it is slipping away. He is not able to hold the instrument of action. Again the zoom is gone. Put it on. The Gandiva has slipped from my sluggish hands. I do not know when it dropped. My mind is so clouded by delusion. See, it is like, after an accident, you sit behind the wheel, your hands are shaking. You can't hold the wheel, steering wheel. If you do it and break that moment and become confident, then it is good. That is what will happen with Arjuna also. My mind is so clouded by delusion. Sanjaya said that it is odd that pity should so unusually affect his heart, which is as hard as the adamant, harsh and truculent. He who has conquered Lord Shiva and destroyed Nivataka Vacha demons, and so overpowered by compassion in a moment, when the bee which can bore into any dry wood is caught in a flower bud, it would rather lose its life than tear it open. Bee can bore into a wood, but please put your audio off. But when she goes for the nectar in a flower and the lotus closes itself, it can easily come out. But it is so overpowered by the nectar, by the smell or by the taste, that it forgets its ability. Otherwise, it has the power to come out, but it dies. It's ready to die. This is the state of Arjuna. He will tell afterwards. So here he says, when the open, so the tender ties of kinship are difficult to break. Now, when people hear this, the emotional ties, the tender ties of nears and dears are difficult to break. Yes, I completely agree with Arjuna. It is very difficult to break. Is this the conclusion that we want to come to while listening to Bhagavad Gita? Is it? No. We should feel we have to wear the shoes of Krishna when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, not the shoes of Arjuna. Then you will have a eagle's view of the entire knowledge. See it in the right perspective. Don't become an Arjuna. No, like Arjuna, I have also been in these situations. No, your mind has been in these situations. You are the witness. This is the Maya of the Supreme God, which even Brahma cannot cross. It confused the mind of Arjuna, so said Sanjaya to the king. After seeing his kinsmen there, Arjuna lost all zest for war. One does not know how this pity entered his mind. Then he said to Krishna, Lord, let us not tarry here. When I see that I have to kill all these relatives, my mind becomes disturbed and I start raving. So that is the last two verses which we have not seen. हे आदि पुरुषाची माया ब्रह्मे या हि नयेची आया म्हणौनी भुलविला ऐके राया संजयो म्हणे अवधारी मगतो अर्जुनु देखोनी सकळ स्वजनु विसरला अभिमानु संग्रामीचा कैसी नेणो सदयता उपनली येथे चित्ता मग म्हणे कृष्णा आता नसिजे एथ माझे अतिशय मन व्याकुळ होतसे वाचा बरळ जे वधावे हे सकळ येणे नावे. And in this manner, when I see that I have to kill all these, he has already taken for granted out of arrogance before that I am going to kill them. Because he has got no doubt, but he doesn't realize that overconfidence has led to the arrogance. So these words are coming out, that I have to kill them. Maybe you get killed, man. You got Bhishmacharya in front of you. You got Karna in front of you. You got Dronacharya in front of you. Just because once you put a Mohini Astra and defeated them, you think that you can kill them. This is overconfidence. One must never live with that. Always feel you are nobody. Always feel you are nobody. Then all options, the right way will open. First, I am nobody, and whatever has to happen will happen by the will of the Lord. So he is doing the right thing actually, because Krishna is sitting in front of him and he is becoming a nobody. I don't know, I am deluded. At least he is showing all the symptoms in front of the Lord. When it happens to us, do we remember the Lord? Do we do it in front of our husband or in front of our wife or in front of our children, thinking they are the wise ones? Continuing, where are we? We conclude. Just we'll read this shloka and then we'll conclude. Look at it in our next class. Nimitani cha pashyami, निमितानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे निमितानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे. So here he says, and I see omens. Now when the mind is deluded, you start seeing, what do you start seeing? I have to see the astrological chart. I have to see, क्या कुंडली देखनी है. Then I start seeing, see Krishna, the crow is crowing. I think it's a bad omen. I start seeing all bad omens around me because whole creation is in your mind. You tell the mind, I am having a bad time, the creation will present itself. You see, yes, you're having a bad day, man. See bad omen, see bad nakshatra, see bad people, see bad this, see bad that. Oh, I think it's really bad. You lose the plot.
Saraswati has come.
Saraswati has come. O Krishna, nor do I foresee any good in killing our men in battle. We'll look at it from our 31st verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. The retreat is not next week. We will do it the week after. Okay? Not 15th, 16th, 17th. The week after that. I thought 17th was a free day, but it is not.
17th and 22nd, Swamiji?
Huh?
We'll do on 22nd or?
हाँ तो March 22nd, 23rd, or we can do 29th, 30th. One of them. Why you want a break?
No, I don't want a break.
Then it's okay. But I thought it was 17th was a day off, but it is not. So my mistake. I'll let you know when it is. Okay? Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Swamiji, recharge का क्या चल रहा है? Subscription हो गया Zoom.
I don't know. Speak to Anup because now I'm getting every 40 minutes I have to reboot the Zoom.
ठीक है, अभी भी वही कर रहा था. ठीक है, मैं बात करता हूँ उससे.
हाँ.
ठीक है, ओके.
Okay.
ओके स्वामी.
Paradise Swamiji.
Pranam, Pranam, Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you for your answer.
Hari Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you.
Chalo, I'll sign out.
Hari Om, Swamiji. Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om Sudha, Hari Om.